I experienced a lot of stigma. I remember one example was like, I have 2 children. When I was in labor with the first child, I trained myself to, every time I went to a doctor, I would immediately tell them I was in recovery, which is a good thing, I think, to do. Good thing to practice. But I remember when I did it once I was in labor with my first child, I did definitely feel stigmatized, and I felt like they were kind of withholding giving me the medications or the treatments that I needed. Not that it was even a narcotic medication, but even the epidural, like they didn't want to get the epidural fixed because they might have been afraid that I was drug seeking or I was trying to just change the way that I felt in a certain way. It was a weird experience. Something that really bothered me, I felt stigmatized when I went to treatment, which was strange. I felt like a lot of people, I almost felt like I was more judged once I went to treatment, especially by family members. Like I had family members who were more willing to help me and be there for me as long as it could be covered up. But I felt like once I went to treatment, it was like exposed that I was struggling with substance use disorder. And then I felt like those family members sort of cut me off. And that was the biggest stigmatization that I feel like I experienced that probably hurt the most. Connection is the opposite of addiction. And for me, just breaking down barriers of thinking that I'm different or thinking that any of us are different than the other, it makes it a lot harder for us to connect that way. If we can just not be afraid of doing that and just trying to get rid of the stigma or like any unconscious bias that we may have towards other people that makes us think that we are so different than them or better than them. If we can just try to get past that and realize that people in recovery, if you actually speak to anyone in your family, friends, people you meet on the street, you probably will come in contact with somebody who is either in recovery or who has experience with substance use disorder or knows somebody who has experience with substance use disorder. So if we can just, like, as long as we keep talking about it and not making it such a scary thing or something that should be so shameful, then I think that that's a good way to continue to form connections. Long-term recovery has taught me so much. I wish that everybody could experience it because it's so amazing that I get this. I just started school and I really have had to lean on my women in recovery and other people with similar experiences. I get through class. I didn't think that I could even make it through school. Like I didn't think that I could make it through. I have class for 3.5 hours, 1 day a week. And I truly didn't believe that I could make it through or like learn information. I thought that I had always convinced myself that I was incapable of learning and doing well in school. But through recovery, I've learned that I can do those things and I can do whatever I want as long as I set my mind to it. I am working towards a degree in nursing. I really would love to work in labor and delivery. I kind of discovered a passion for it. I really feel like I've been able to find myself and find my passions and things that I like to do for fun. And so, yeah, that's not something I ever thought I would say. That's something I always thought that wouldn't even be possible for me, just because I thought so lowly of myself and spoke so negative to myself. But today I really believe that that is an achievable goal, and that's what I'm going to do. I know that, especially as a woman in recovery, how I would want to treat other women in recovery that are going through this, because it's hard when you're not in recovery. So having to go through these high stress situations, and especially where you're in so much pain, it definitely takes a lot of like patience and understanding and, you know, empathy. And I feel like that's something that I can really give to other women, not only other women in recovery, but other women in general. The way I view myself today is so different than the way I viewed myself 6-7 years ago. Today, I feel like I can honestly say that I love myself and I have respect for myself. I have standards for myself. I have standards for the people around me. I'm proud of myself. I think I'm a pretty good mom. I think I'm a pretty good wife. I try my best at least. I'm trying to do the right thing every day. And I think as long as I'm doing that, then, I mean, that's the best I can do, you know?